Andy, are you saying not 2 wheels off? Ryan, do you want to elaborate a little bit on what the judges are saying? They're basically saying that, speaking to Andy, they both zeroed on their chase run, so they assessed their lead run, and Forsberg's was more dominant in that instance. And it was unanimous. So again, it's unanimous. The judges are saying that both chase runs were zeros. Then focus on the lead runs. They are saying that Forsberg's lead run is more dominant than that of Jeff Stoneback's lead run. Ryan, if you could elaborate on what has gone on here.
So if you remember, Ken Gushi went off course, but then we reeled the tape back and we saw that Charles Ng actually crossed over the line. And you cannot do that in the chase position at a side-by-side. So what the judges have decided to do is we're going to run this battle from the get-go. This will be a renewed battle. Run number.
Montaigne?
Yeah, that's what I got from him. I mean, for me, it's a one more time. You know, there's a 0 on run 1, 0 on run 2. No deciding factor. One guy has a lead, one guy has a lead on the second run. So to me, it's a one more time. But I understand their position, and you know that's the way they scored it.
That's it. So Chris Forsberg advances on. He's in the final four. Here's Charles Ng and Ken Gushi. Ken Gushi leading on this run. Whoa, Gushi! That's a hard act to follow there, Ryan. Charles Ng was not in drift, but as Gushi re-enters the track. Make some noise, Atlanta.
Well, here we go. Ken Gushi on his lead run now, looking so flawless from the beginning of this event. Makes a huge mistake going off course there. That'll end the run right there. After Ken Gushi zeroes out, that will basically shut the run down. You can see Charles Ng just trying to avoid contact on course here. You can see the judges taking a look at this portion of the replay. And it looks like Ken Gushi might possibly have an opportunity here. You can see the yellow line right there. That yellow line, you are not allowed to cross over that and be side by side. Roll it back a little bit, guys, one more time. Roll it back up. Charles Ng needs to be on the other side of that line. He cannot be side by side of Ken Gushi in that area. He needs to stay in his lane. That's what those yellow markers are there for. If he wants to tuck behind Ken Gushi, he can. But it's one of the judges pointing out that he's side by side. Right there, you can see he's crossed the line and he's side by side. So we'll see how they interpret that. But that is the reason why they're looking at that replay. Even though Ken Gushi goes off course here, that might have a huge role in what exactly transpires.
All right, so Comedia Racing, 2 a.m. watching Formula Drift here in the UK. Thanks for tuning in. Hashtag FDATL. Wow.
Taking on Charles Ng.
All right, so yeah, as you said, that basically what just transpired previously of these two guys didn't even happen. That didn't even happen. So here we go. We are seeing Ken Gushi and Charles Ng. Here we go, Gushi out front, and that Scion FRS coming into the first front clip. Transitioning in and up into the horseshoe. Look at the angle. Using the whole course as the Goosh. Exiting the horseshoe. Charles Ng really lacking some angle there. Whoa. Barely holding on to it. You can hear Charles Ng's car kind of puttering out of the horseshoe.
Well, here we go on the replay. Ken Gushi and Charles Ng coming into initiation right here. Ken Gushi on that inside line right there. Charles Ng falls back a little bit, gives some space to Ken Gushi. Now Gushi making it up the hill. Charles Ng has to cut the line to gain proximity here. Nice job on that outer zone is Ken Gushi, but then he has to leave a little bit early. Allows Charles Ng to try to make up a little bit. Nice angle right there by Ken Gushi. Charles on the last little attack right there, coming across the finish line.
So there you have, taking a look at it, Gush. Gush and Ng. Going through the course. Remember, this is the battle of the final of the Great Eight. This is the final battle. Charles Ng will be leading as we alternate the order. Who's in? Charles Ng or Ken Gushi? Forrest Wang, Odie Bakshis, these guys have podiumed before. Here we go. Ng out front, Gushi giving chase. As Charles Ng slides into that first front clip. Up the hill into the second rear clipping zone. Ken Gushi sweating Ng. Are we going to see Gushi in the final four? Bringing it on down the hill. Gushi and Ng and Gushi. Whoa.
Well, like you said, there, Ken Gushi going for a course here. Charles Ng coming into the first corner right there. Ken Gushi trying to nose in right here, take some of that advantage away and some of that distance away from Charles Ng. He's able to do that. Maxes out the angle so he does not make contact there. Good move by Gushi on the inside. Now coming down the hill here is Charles Ng. He's on this middle line, comes up on the inside line now. Gushi sees it. And then both drivers cross the finish line.
All right, so digesting both of these runs between Ng and Gushi. We haven't seen Gushi in the final four for quite some time, but I have a feeling we're going to see him now. And there it is, Ken Gushi